Hey guys, welcome to this video lecture series on the subject of polymer science and technology. I'm Harsh Panchal, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this video, we are going to start with the all new chapter of polymerization reaction. That is third chapter from your syllabus. Well, synthesis of polymer through process, what we call as the polymerization, is very easy nowadays. But if you think few decades back, things were very complicated that days. If I have to say you have to manufacture this much big of the molecule, then you will be snitching your hair. As there was no technology or no process. But nowadays we have this technology or the process called as the polymerization, through which we can produce number of polymers. As we have already told in the introduction lecture that polymers are integral part of human beings. So it is essential that we have to develop certain type of the technology with the help of we can easily manufacture number of polymers. And in this chapter we are going to see these technologies of polymerization. So, to produce a polymer, all we need is appropriate quantity of monomer, then a catalyst and suitable polymerization reactor in which we can continue or proceed our reaction. Moreover, nowadays many polymerization techniques have been extensively studied and experimented. So with the help of this technology, we can get almost every polymer of our choice by its molecular weight or its mechanical structure. So it is in our hand that what kind of the molecule that we want to produce. We can produce any size of the molecule with various of the molecular weight and mechanical properties or structural properties. So now let's just move to this fascinating word that called as the polymerization. Let's just see the definition of polymerization. Well, this definition is the most simplest definition, but yet it is the basic definition. Polymerization may be termed as the process by which monomer forms polymer by making and breaking chemical bonds. So, in polymerization process, different monomer combine together and join together to form a chain of polymer. So this was the basic definition for the polymerization. Now, if we discuss more sophisticated definition of polymerization, then we can say that it is a process by which a simple molecule, that is your monomer, can join together to form very large molecule, that is your polymer. Hence, the synthesis of large molecular weight polymer is termed as polymerization. So basically polymerization is nothing but the process in which two or more monomer combine together, join together to form a long chain of the polymer. Now suppose this monomer can react with two more monomer, then it will link with two monomers. Then that two monomer will link with another four monomers. Then with 6, 8, 10 and series will go on, and this process, entire process can be named as the polymerization process, and in which we will get long chain of the polymer which will have higher molecular weight. So this is what the basic definition of the polymerization. Remember this thing, it is very basic definition, but yet it is very important one. So now having said that, let's just move to some of the example of this polymerization process. Here in this table you can see that we have monomer called as ethylene. So ethylene has a structure like this. It has 2 CH2 double bond CH2. So this was the monomer that we are using for the polymerization process. If this particular monomer will undergo the polymerization reaction, then this bond will break out and it will form a polymer named as polyethylene, which will have a structure like this: CH3 single bond CH3 for n number of times. Then the next example is vinyl chloride. So the structure of vinyl chloride monomer can be look like CH2 double bond C with here one hydrogen and one chlorine group here. So if this particular monomer will undergo polymerization reaction, then it will form polyvinyl chloride as the polymer, which will have essentially structure where this n number of monomer will react with each other and form chemical structure of polyethylene like this. And the next example is the vinyl acetate, which will form polyvinyl acetate, and styrene, which will form polystyrene. Now, having said that, let's just discuss what are the essential requirements of a monomer so that it can undergo the polymerization process. Well, here in the screen, you can see that the monomer should have at least bifunctionality by mean of bond or by mean of functional group. Well, we have already discussed the functionality in our introduction lecture. If you have missed that video, I will recommend that you first learn what do we mean by the functionality. Well, now having said that, functionality can be defined or it can be obtained in a two way. Either it can be by bond or it can be by different functional group. So by bond, how do we can get the functionality? So first let's see how do we can get functionality by mean of bonds. Well, we can have functionality with the help of double bond or with the help of triple bonds. So let's first understand how do we can get functionality with the help of double bonds. Here in this image you can see that I have used one ethylene compound which has two carbon like this and hydrogen are attached to these sides. Now this upper bond is known as the pi bond and this lower bond is known as the sigma bond. Here in this image you can see that this is the pi bond and this one is the sigma bond. Well, basically this pi bond is not actually bond, it is just a cloud of different electrons. So if we supply energy either in the form of heat or in the form of light, then this particular pi bond will easily break out. So if this upper bond will easily break out, then this carbon like this, then this carbon will have one bond here and it will have one bond here, as this bond will shared by both the carbon in a same amount. So now again this carbon can link with something here and this particular carbon can also join with something here. So we can say that this particular monomer of ethylene can react with two functional group or two different components. Hence it has bifunctionality. Now, what happens with the triple bond? Well, let me just rub this thing and take an example again. So here we have one carbon which is attached with another carbon by mean of three bonds. Here the upper bond is the pi bond, the intermediate bond is your sigma bond and the last one is again your pi bond. So as we have already discussed that this pi bond can be easily break out. So if we supply some amount of energy, these two pi bond will easily break out. So this bond has gone and this lower bond is also has gone. So now these two carbon can share this bond with some another element in this way, here in this way, here in this way, and it can also link with someone here. So now any monomer can react in this position, it can also react in this position or here or here. So we can say that triple bond provides tetra functionality to the monomer. As you can see that four different monomer can interact or can join with this particular monomer. So this is how we can get functionality. So this is how we can get long chain of a polymer by mean of double bond or triple bond. Basically, this triple bond structure are responsible for the complex network of cross-linking polymer. And with the help of double bond, we can get a linear polymer. Now, let's move to the functional group. Well, these functional group are also responsible for the functionality of the monomer. As here you can see that suppose we have structure like this, here this carbon is attached with some functional group such as hydroxyl group like OH, then it is very easy to break out this particular bond rather than breaking this carbon-carbon bond, because this carbon-carbon bond is covalent bond and it is very difficult to break this bond and we are requiring high amount of energy. So essentially what we do is we break this particular bond of functional group with the carbon. So as this bond will break out, this carbon can interact with some another monomer in order to form long chain of the polymer. And this is how we can produce polymer by mean of the polymerization process. So there are a number of functional groups such as hydroxyl group, then we have carboxylic group, that is COOH, then we have amine group and many others. So these are the basic essential requirement of the monomer that need to have in order to undergo the polymerization process. Now let's understand what are the different types of the polymerization process. Well, there are different types of the polymerization methods. Now, for an instant, imagine you have to make a necklace out of some beads like this. So, you can have beads which are held through that, or you can have simply beads which have hook attached to them, or you will have spherical beads like that in which you can apply glue on the both the side and stick all these beads together to form a long chain of the necklace. So with the help of thread, you can use this particular whole sphere type of the beads to form long chain of the necklace. Or you can use this hook type of the beads to just hook them on a chain and you will have a necklace. So polymerization process itself has similar kind of a structure. We can define polymerization process in three different categories. The first one is the addition polymerization, in which it is direct addition of a single or a different type of the monomer in repeated form. So basically in addition polymerization process, different type or similar type of the monomer are just adding together. Like you can see here in this image that different monomer or same type of the monomer are coming together and they are just keep adding on them. So you will have ultimately long chain of polymer. So as they keep adding together, they are forming chain of the polymer, and this particular process called as addition polymerization. The second one is known as the condensation polymerization, in which two or more monomer condense together to form a new long chain of the polymer, and they release small molecule, and this entire process called as condensation polymerization process. So in which basically two monomer come together and they condense together and they form long chain of polymer. In this process, small molecule also liberate. As you can see here in this image, this particular blue element is the small molecule that left over or that release after the condensation process. So in condensation process, two different monomer come together and they condense with each other and they liberate small molecules such as water or ammonia, and they form a long chain of the polymers. This process called as condensation polymerization. And lastly, we have third category of the polymerization that known as the copolymerization process. It basically refers as joint polymerization, in which two monomer join together without release of any molecules. So this was all about different polymerization technique that we use to produce a polymer. Now in the next video, we will be discussing about the addition polymerization process in depth. Till then, keep watching, keep learning.